I'm so excited about this because you saw it listed as a special guest, which is where we always put our artists that come with visual arts or, performing arts like clowns or all these other things that we incorporate. But we've never had a special guest that could rock the microphone like our special guest tonight, Señor Gigio. I met him back in the days at ROTC at the Boom Boom Room, where he wasn't just an MC, he was the judge for the freestyle rap challenges that they had, the battles that they had back at that legendary event. I mean, that's where Check the Rhyme really got the inspiration from, all the talent that would gather there. And this man is multifaceted. He is so fucking dope. He's got like 20 projects or more out there as an MC, and we're going to find out about him as a visual artist. But first, we're going to let him rock the mic. So show him what you do, Gigio. Let's go.
Hey, big love. Van B. Jean. Oh, hey. All right, look. Hey, yo, without hesitation, I'm finna rock on this here mic. And when I get on the microphone, I'm finna do what I like. Raise up the Fahrenheit. Or matter of fact, the Celsius. Man, when I get on the microphone, I practice selflessness. I can't help but be in bliss when I rock on this microphone. Yeah, that's right, and I like the tone. Recite a poem off the top of the dome. And I go bad to the bone, to your skull, straight to your dome. It's like that, man. E.T. phone home. Nah, E.T. microphone home. Every time I come through, you already know what I'm finna do. It ain't a rendezvous, but I come through, might even swoop up on a Susie Q or a Susie Q for a Q&A. And that's right, and you already know Señor Gigio, it's in my DNA. Hey, and he don't play, he just say what he finna say. And I rock with no delay. They like, damn, why you rock this way? Cause gotta respect the beat. Come through all types of techniques, and they might be sour or sweet. But I can do it on this here beat. Yeah, just like that, y'all. And I'm out like, yay. Hey.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the show. Now,
Peace,
if you've
peace.
been following the Complex and Check the Rhyme, you've seen Señor Gigio come through with 1 a.m. and rock this spot. You've done the Check the Rhyme showcases, and now you're here on Freestyle Flow Fest. Welcome to the
It's a blessing
party.
to be here. Thank you for having me. It's a lot of
Fuck
fun.
yeah. So last time we did a full interview about you as an MC. Today, we're going to talk about you as an artist. You're a Bay Area hip-hop cartoonist. You're an illustrator. You've got album art. You do comic art. You're an animator. You do fashion. And I've heard that you get third eyes popping with funkadelic imagery. Can you tell us about that?
I mean, so, once I started going into like really defining my lane as an MC, a big part of like me getting into my MCing and just trying to relate to people, my vision started to get more fantastic. And, I was just like, I kept having a hard time like trying to work with visual artists and, meet people on the same plane. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to draw this myself. I started drawing my own album art in, I want to say like 2015. But I always had a talent for drawing, like early since I was a kid. That might have been like my first talent that I discovered. But sometimes you might have like an ability to do something, but it's all about having, I think, a statement and something to express. And that's really when it kicked in. Is when I realized, like, I'm in love with my music. I love what I do. I have a whole vision for it, and I just figured, like, man, I have to be the one to illustrate and display what the style is for it. And it just kind of became like a whole, kind of like a psychedelic explosion, you know what I mean? Just from starting to do the artwork for the album art and everything, but it just became more around it. It's like once that muscle kind of opens up and you start expressing yourself, I just started doing all kinds of art pieces and creating just a lot, a lot of different things, and I think it's all to relate, and it's to communicate, and then there's another part of it where it's like we get to, it's part of the hustle too, but really, like, if it wasn't for having something to communicate and relay and share, like with people, there would be no hustle, so it's just it's inspiration, and it just it just helps me, like, I guess, just get the message out. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the message, you got to give it in layers, and there might be there's parts of the music and parts of the rhymes that people can, like, take in, and I think that when you put the pictures to it, that really helps kind of like just make it more tangible. You know what I mean? It makes it more just comes into more reality. But more recently, I've kind of really I've been coming to appreciate, like, what I do as a visual artist even more recently, where I've been kind of starting to let that create that in its own world. Even though I still make art for my music as well, I've been kind of, like, this year making more art just separately too. You know.
That's dope. And I'm kind of curious. I once at Burning Man got a chance to talk with Alex Gray, another psychedelic visual artist, very iconic, about his kind of creative process, because his imagery is also very intricate. And I was like, do you really, like, visualize it, like, clearly in your mind? Because your pieces often have so many different elements, and those elements aren't always things that have been seen together before. I've never seen them together before a lot of the time. So I'm wondering, like, how does that occur in your mind when you are coming up with these concepts, or what do you see in your head as you are creating this art?
It's I mean, it's sometimes I feel like it's really stepping into the unknown. I might have a feeling, like a lot of times I have, like, a vague feeling, or like a vague picture in mind. And each time you're drawing something new, it might have been something you've never drawn before. So it's like trying to wrap your brain around the movement, around, like, how do I move? So now I got to move my, as I've known myself, like, to be, drawing was just being able to draw, like, really cool cartoon characters. But I mean, just the more scenic I've become, that's been kind of like, it's like stepping into the unknown and just being like, oh, like, you really got to get your muscle into it. And it really is feeling, and it's not, I think it's not knowing. Sometimes it's really not knowing what you're gonna do, but like stepping into it, and seeing how it comes out on the other end, and just trying to be like, I try to practice, like, being honest with it too. Like, did I capture everything that I wanted to put into here? Does it need something more? Or, do I need to do that better? Or is that just what it is? Just, like, to leave it where it's at too. So it's kind of like it's very, it's just like really being in your senses.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think of a chef in the kitchen, right? When they're figuring out what seasonings to add, and how do you know when it's done and when it needs something else. I feel like it's kind of maybe an intuitive and experiential thing.
For me, it really is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then not only does it come alive in the album art, in the comic books, but also in animation. I remember you had a music video that I really enjoyed that was like the apple so far from the tree that you animated.
Well, I actually didn't animate that
didn't?
one. That one, this artist from Brooklyn, New York,
Oh.
Kendra Morris, she animated that one. But that's the
okay.
one time that somebody's animated something for me.
But those were your images still, right?
No, those are actually hers. But
okay.
but no, I've got tons of animation, like, work too,
Yeah.
But it's sometimes I feel like that's I think that's like she's kind of like a role model in a way, So like sometimes, like, when you want to do something, it's nice to work with somebody, or maybe collaborate with someone who is doing that already, and then once you kind of see how they do it, and you peep game a little bit, then you kind of get the picture of it. So that was like that I put that particular video came out 2020, and but I followed up once I kind of like seeing how she kind of put it together. It kind of gave me inspiration to think, like, how can I do this? Because the thing with animation is, like, now these days there's so many different ways to go about doing it. You could do it so many different ways. There's all kinds of programs and applications and things like that. But what it really breaks down to is just a picture and moving and just, you know, one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot. And once I kind of figured that out, I kind of figured out my own style about how I would go about doing it.
All right, cool. That's amazing. Yeah, you're doing it for other artists like Alien Mac Kitty, and also you incorporate live film that you footage that you filmed with some of them videos, like Algorithm Don't Slap and all these other things, right? So it's kind of like a Roger Rabbit kind of effect.
Yeah, I've done some things like that too, where I've like, you know, animated some of the cartoons into you know, like the actual like live video too, which is fun.